Sorry. Come on, we gotta do this.
But it's cold.
You don't need a heater. Go warm up. We're gonna work out. All right, guys. Thursday's buy-in. Hopefully you had fun with the PVC work that you just finished. But for those of you with dumbbells or kettlebells, we are going to build off what we practiced last week. So the dumbbell or kettlebell hang snatch, we are going to do 5 high pulls and then 5 hang power snatches on the right side, then the left side, and then some bounding broad jumps or vertical jumps, whatever you have room for. So we're working from hang on all this, and it's all going to be single arm. So we get that high pull for 5 reps and then that hang to overhead. And since it's a dumbbell or a kettlebell, there's going to be kind of different avenues we can take with this. If you wanted to do this with a barbell, you could as well, but we're just going to go over the dumbbell and kettlebell for today. We're going to start with the dumbbell. So Coach Shar has this all set up and ready to go. When we're working from hang, that means we are starting not on the ground, but we stand up all the way, and then we come down to about knee height. So that starting position, you can tell shoulders are over her weight, knees are pushed back, hamstrings are engaged, so stand up for me. So we start from there. She's going to hinge down and then pop up and let that elbow trace up. So the more she uses her legs, the easier that weight floats up. So she'll hinge and pop, and then hinge and pop. And the difference, and the reason why we do that, is the high pull gets the weight set where we want, so we can drop under and catch. You don't have to go into a full squat. This designates power. So it's that hinge, pull, and catch. And then stand up, reset, hinge, pull, catch. So you can tell she's using her legs to launch it up and catches it with that elbow fully extended, weight right over the center of the body. So go ahead and show a few pulls and hang snatches on the left side. No difference here, just different hand. Using the legs to launch it up. And then when she's ready, pull and drop underneath. If you have different weights that you want to build up into and get really comfortable with, this is a great way to get the feeling of that weightless moment and then that drop and catch, just like you would with a barbell. Now with the kettlebell, slightly different, same concept, but the hinge comes into play a little more, and you're going to tuck that weight in the hips, kind of fire it almost out, but you keep it close and punch through. So this is when the big tell on if it's going right or not is if you are swinging it out and it crashing on you versus getting in that weightless moment and transitioning through. You shouldn't walk away with big whelps on your forearm for this. So starting with the high pull, you can see she's going to tuck that kettle in and the hips kind of pop it out, but unlike a single arm swing, it's not coming way out here away from her. That bell is close. And then when she's ready, she harnesses that, and when it's weightless, she just punches through. So that weight stays close to her body the whole time. And it's never coming up and over and crashing into her. So she'll do a few on the left, tucking in, getting that high pull, that elbow comes up, those hips are giving it all the launching power, and then she punches through, getting that quick turnover. That bell is in that weightless moment and just rotates around her arm as she punches through. So once you have done 5 of each on the left and then 5 of each on the right, which while I'm there, I should have noted this on the board. If you are weaker with your left side, go ahead and do that one first. So if you need to swap these, that's totally fine. I always recommend starting with your weaker side, just so you're not exhausted when you're trying to harness in on this technique work. Let the stronger arm take care of itself. Get your technique work with your weaker side. But between your sets, you are going to do 50 feet of bounding broad jumps. This is that quick, continuous jump rather than setting or landing, resetting, and then jumping again. It's that quick thing. So we don't have quite 25 feet here. But, oh, sorry, Siri. Shut up. But ideally, 5 or 6 jumps across and then turn around 5 or 6 jumps back. So she hinges, launches forward, and then continues to spring forward, sticking that landing every time. So if you don't have a runway where you can do that, we can go into 10 vertical jumps where she is just launching as tall as you can. Notice how she's throwing her hands up, getting that full extension through the hips, through the arms, through the chest, everything, getting as tall as you can. And then take a minute and a half off between your sets. So very flowy through these 2 movements, and then explosive here at the end. So let this 90 seconds rest, bring your heart rate back down, run through 4 rounds of that, and then get ready to jump around. Tag us on Instagram at CrossFit_TO, hashtag built by CFTO. See you guys in a few.